Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all Illinois students that's sponsored by Illinois Association for College Admissions Counseling and StriveScan. If you have any questions tonight, please use the Q&A button to type your questions to the presenter. He will see it at any time. Your camera and your mic are off. You're muted, your video is off, the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can sign up for more presentations like this awesome one after tonight at IACAC.org, and its recording will be available within a week after the session, so you can always go to IACAC.org to view it again. All right, Rob, it's your turn.
Awesome. Well, welcome everyone, and thank you for giving me some of your time this evening. I am going to share my screen with you as well. My name is Robert Oliveri, and I am with the University of Maryland Admissions Office. I am the Midwest Regional Recruitment Coordinator, so I am your person to guide you through this application process, as well as read your application for all Midwest students, Illinois, Ohio, and many other Midwest states. I am based in Chicago, so I'm happy to meet with you at some day and time in person, but for now, meet with you virtually and be your point of contact. To start off, we do have another admissions representative online, so if you have questions, you can throw them in and they may be answered mid-session or they may be answered at the end, but I'm going to go over University of Maryland in general, talk about the application process, and then open it up for your questions. I should be able to get everyone's questions answered here today. First piece that I like to talk about is the distinctions of the University of Maryland. So we have a lot of programs that are standout, and U.S. World and News Reports really does highlight us frequently, and I urge you to go online and look at those as well as many other ranking sources, and you'll see where we stand. But there are three main areas that we constantly are top 20 for. First one is public university education. Second one is best value. And third one is most innovative schools. So you will see that constantly throughout this session, talking about innovation and cross-departmental collaboration, but that's how we stand out in a lot of ways via distinction in our educational platform. For our university, some basics, if you haven't seen or visited us before, we have 30,000 undergraduate students, about 10,000 additional graduate, so 40,000 students. We're a large university. There's all different kinds of people from all walks of life, and you truly get to meet a little taste of everyone, and you also can find your group and your community because we're large enough that every single community is truly represented. You'll also truly find out where you fit in. We have over 800 student organizations and clubs on our campus, so there's so much to do at the University of Maryland and so many different options to be involved. You definitely will find that group and that community when you're at our large university. One of the biggest things that I like to highlight is that large 43.6%. That's our undergraduate domestic students of color. So you are seeing all kinds of diversity on our campus, including domestic and international. We have over 5,000 international students from over 123 different countries. So when you come on our campus, you're gaining a unique experience of so many different walks of life that add to your holistic and well-rounded education. It also does create innovation, or as you'll see on our campus, fearless ideas. Some of the top minority groups that are not students of color that we rank very highly with is the number one at the bottom at my screen. Pride Index rated University of Maryland to be the number one college for LGBTQ students. We're also consistently the top 10 by Forward magazine for Jewish student life. You can see our location. So our location is College Park, Maryland. It's that true college town. We are a Big Ten campus, so I know you in Illinois definitely know what that's all about, having that true large Big Ten college atmosphere, and College Park, Maryland radiates that. We also are conveniently located 4 miles outside of Washington, D.C., and we are 45 minutes from Baltimore. We're about an hour and 20 from Annapolis, Maryland, and then we're only about 3.5 from Philly, and 5.5 from New York City. So there's a lot of markets that our students work in, and as you can see here, these are the places we constantly recruit inside and outside the US, and we see students study abroad to some of the international locations, and we see a lot of our students from all of these different walks of life. One of the areas I want to highlight the most is Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is the nation's capital, and there are so many opportunities for our students to have the experience and out of the classroom engagement. Obviously, you'll know that our politics and government and public policy and journalism programs are really strong at the university because we are so close to Washington, D.C. But you also don't even realize that every major industry in the United States has a department that is related to it in the US government. So that's an internship opportunity. That's an opportunity to really be involved and be engaged in your out of the classroom coursework. So let me give you some examples. My art and history majors, the Smithsonian Suite of Museums, and all the monuments on the National Mall are all opportunities for you to get involved. For my criminology students, we have the #1 program in the nation, and it's because FBI and CIA headquarters are right down the street. For my engineering students, NASA headquarters is super close by. We also have Amazon 2 headquarters moving into the south side of DC, and we're on the northeast corridor, so it's an easy commute via public transit. We also have many opportunities for my language, literatures, and IR, or international relations students, because we have all of the different US embassies and governments. One of the cool things is all of your programs will have a policy piece to it too, because from our campus to the steps of the Capitol building is 25 minutes, and you can take that all via public transit. The Green Line, which is on the back end of our campus, is very similar to the L in Chicago, and it runs every 6 to 12 minutes right into Washington, D.C. So it's very convenient for our students to be in the chambers and lobby, talk to legislators, and watch actual votes happen live right in front of them. Washington, D.C. has so many amenities that our students consistently take advantage of, whether it's an internship while you're a full-time student at Maryland, or if it's a summer or a semester where you really get to be engaged with your DC area. Also, talking about that, let's talk about some of the programs. We have about 98 different majors, and here lists our 12 different schools. So at the large University of Maryland, we make it feel a little smaller by having multiple different schools and programs to choose from. So for example, there's a lot of programs within our school business, but the Robert Smith School of Business is a program where you're going to get to know certain professors and certain students, and it's going to make the large university feel a little bit smaller. Another thing we truly believe in is cross-departmental learning. So if you are a business student, you might be doing a research project with an education student to really create that innovation. And you can also think about double majoring, but there is so many opportunities for you to be involved in different programs and, again, still make the large school feel a little bit, smaller. As you can see at the bottom, there's something that says letters and sciences. That is our undeclared or undecided majors. So on the application, if you list undecided, then your admissions letter would say letters and sciences on it. On the application, if you list a program and do not get direct entry into it, letters and sciences would also be listed. These are the programs that have a 2-tier process that you may still get letters and sciences for. With these programs, the 2-tier is tier 1, me reviewing your application. If I say yes, let's say you're in the Clark School of Engineering. I send it over to the Clark School of Engineering. If they say yes, congratulations, you got your direct entry seat into the Clark School of Engineering. If they say no, then you would still get a letter saying, congratulations, you're in University of Maryland in letters and sciences. Now, we have two options to get into your program. One is what we just talked about, the direct entry. The second is an internal transfer. That can happen as soon as the end of your freshman year. We list out specific benchmark courses that students need to complete and hold a certain GPA, and then they will be admitted into their program after their freshman year. So you can do direct entry or internal transfer. All of those logistics, the benchmark courses, the GPA you need to maintain are all listed at lep.umd.edu. It's at the bottom of the column in red. It's a great website to jot down, especially if your program's listed here, to see the next steps to make sure you can get into that specific program after your freshman year. All of these options do not delay graduation whatsoever. Those benchmark courses are the same courses you would be taking if you got the direct entry. Outside the classroom, there's a lot of opportunities to be able to get involved and have those experiences. We have phenomenal research and it's cross-departmental. One of the big ones we did about 3 years back was we were the first group of people to have an organ donation via an unmanned aircraft. And that takes a lot of different departments between health sciences, computer sciences, computer engineering. All of them work together to make us be that first group to really have the next level as far as medical sciences. We also have many internships and co-ops. Like I talked about, Washington, D.C. is an easy route, but there's so many different opportunities that students will take advantage of. 87% of our students will have one internship, at least one when they're on campus, and 55% of those students have a second one when they're on our campus. Again, you could be in Washington, D.C. for your internship and a full-time student at the University of Maryland. It's such a fluid process, and we work it into a lot of our programs, 1, 2, maybe even 3 internships or co-ops to really prepare you for after graduation. Education abroad is on hold right now, but typically in an average year, 22% of TERPs study abroad. That's double the national average, and we focus on letting our students be able to go abroad for a semester or even a short-term break. We truly believe it adds to that educational value. So the education abroad is definitely an opportunity to add to your education, and it can be worked in any major course plan. Service learning is something that's been embedded in the University of Maryland culture since the start. And we have multiple different opportunities between DC and Baltimore. And we have select service Saturdays that are available to students, as well as opportunities to be on different service living learning floors. Our living learning floors, we have about 27 different options, and there's so many different opportunities. A good example to start off with is Honors College. Our Honors College, if you're selected into it, is a 2-year living learning community where no matter what program you select, you get some of your larger general education courses in a small classroom setting and programming and living with the same students. So you really get that small classroom atmosphere at the large University of Maryland. Now, we don't just have honors program. And like I said, there's different tracks and trends. So you could be on a cybersecurity floor, you could be on a humanities floor, but then there's also Couch Park Scholars, which is out of the classroom enrichment. We also have service-based learning floors, global communities, freshman research initiatives. There's a lot of different opportunities to have the special program, first-year living learning experience. And we review you for those in your application for admission. Speaking of review, the application process is next. And again, add any questions you have in that Q&A, and we're happy to answer those throughout this presentation. But the application process for us can begin as early as now for my seniors. And you'll see we have a dual application. We are on Common App and Coalition. For the Common App, we do have or you can see both of them here. For the Coalition, excuse me, there is a virtual locker option. So some of my students who are freshmen, sophomores, or juniors, you can start creating things in your virtual locker to prepare for your application senior year. So you don't have to be waiting until senior year to try to prepare all the documents you need. For my Common App students, obviously you can see one of the advantages is over 900 member institutions. So a lot of you will be applying to multiple different schools, and the Common App is one of the ways, as well as Coalition, to go through that. With both of these application platforms, there's no advantage between one or the other where you apply. As you can see with the checklist, some of the things you'll be sending to multiple different schools. So your application form will go to multiple places. Essay and activities list at the bottom there, or resume, may go to multiple different places that require it. The essay form is going to be one of the 5 prompts that Coalition and Common App provide for you. So you pick one of the prompts and it's going to be sent as your essay to multiple different schools, including us. We don't expect it to be tailored to University of Maryland, but we will receive that essay like other schools. The activities list, make sure you're thorough with that. If you have a resume, feel free to upload it, but if you're creating your activities list from the start, take some time, begin it, go back and relook at it and make sure you're not missing anything. One of the hardest things for me as a reviewer is seeing an application that says volleyball 4 years, and that's all I get out of it. I'm sure there was multiple practices, tournaments, and fundraisers you did. Don't leave those out. Be descriptive in those activities lists. For us specifically, or the University of Maryland, we do have 5 Maryland specific questions. These are finish the sentence questions. So it's 1 to 2 sentence responses, and they do have a limited character count. But an example of a question is, what'd you do last Wednesday? Very quick, just understanding how you use your time. We don't expect you to say, I was on University of Maryland's campus rubbing Testudo's nose, unless that really was the case, and that's really cool. But if not, that's completely fine. We also don't want to see that you put napping, period. That means that you haven't really valued the application portion that is just coming to the University of Maryland. So you'll see that in the portal towards the end of your application process. Some external documents that you will need to send to us is 2 letters of recommendation, one from a core academic teacher and one from a counselor. If you have a coach or a community leader that you want to write a letter of rec, it wouldn't count as one of your 2 required letters, but we're happy to read those as long as they say something different than those 2 that are already required. We also do require official transcripts. Contact your high school about the next steps of that. And then your official standardized test scores, if you choose to submit test scores. For this year, so my seniors this year, we are test optional. Others years, we are still under review if that will be the case, but for my seniors this year, we are test optional. However, if you do select yes for that test, we need it from the official testing agency, as well as we will need from official testing agency any sort of bilingual or English proficiency test if it's applicable for my international students. Now, once you complete either Coalition or Common App, you will receive an email from them saying it's complete and sent to University of Maryland. However, your application is not complete quite yet. We still have a TERP application portal you will set up once you have completed the application platform, and you will answer your final question, which is, would you like to apply with a test score or without? You need to answer that even if you are applying with test scores, because we will have some students that freshman year, they sent their test score, but they don't want us to review based on that. Then they can select no, and we will not review based on their test score. Once you complete that question, yes or no, then your application is complete. And also you have your application portal set up so you can review the next steps and your decisions, as well as important information, all via that application portal. Another important thing to keep in mind is with our test optional, it does not disadvantage you by not applying with a test score. We still look at you for scholarships and the honors program, even if you apply without a test score. We understand that it is very difficult this year and last spring to get a test taken or get a test score in that properly reflects you as a student. As you can see here, these are some of the things that will be, these are some of the things that the TERP portal will provide you. Sending important updates, make sure you're still checking your email as well, but you can check your app status. And also relax, enjoy your senior year. It's a crazy time and we completely understand that, and we want you to make the best of your last year of high school. With our application process, our review process first, For our review process, you can see our 26 different factors. I would take a picture of the screen, or you can see it on our website as well. But when you look at this, these are all the things we review on. Now, we understand you might not have all of these, right? But anything that you do have, you should be listing in your application. So one of the biggest pieces of advice I tell students is be thorough in the application and look at these 26 factors before you submit your application to any school, but definitely before you submit it to us. So it is a timely process, and you want to give yourself the proper time to submit a full, thorough, and your best application to the University of Maryland. Now the timeline. For University of Maryland, the early action deadline is November 1st. If there's nothing you remember from this session, just remember this. Our early action deadline is November 1st, and you want to give yourself ample time to make sure you can submit Common and Coalition application and be able to answer the TERP portal question before that deadline. With our early action deadline, it is non-binding. The application serves as one. So it is priority consideration for merit-based scholarships, special programs, and admission. So let me say that again. Early action, November 1st. Non-binding, so you can apply to other schools too. It's priority consideration, so your best chance of getting into the university. And by applying for that, it's all one application. We review you for admissions, scholarships, and special programs, including Honors College. So this means once November 1st hits, sit back and relax, because that application is your application for everything. There's no separate applications for any of honors program or scholarships or anything of that nature. So again, November 1st is that deadline, and then you can relax. With our decisions, you will receive a decision by February 1st. We do what we call a lump sum decision, so everyone will receive their decision right about the same time before February 1st. We're not a rolling admissions office. And what that means is that whenever you apply, we're going to review you all together in the same pool. With our admissions decisions that you will receive by February 1st, you could receive a fall admission, which is going to look very traditional to other schools that you've probably seen before. You could also receive a spring admissions decision. What that means is your first semester at University of Maryland, you can be a part of a program called Freshman Connection, which is freshman only courses to help assist you through that first semester to be successful. All of those classes count towards graduation and do not delay your time at University of Maryland whatsoever. We do let you choose if you get a spring admissions. You can do a semester at community college. You could do a semester abroad with us if you want. You have a couple different options with that spring, but the most common is Freshman Connection and have that support that first semester. Both of these are phenomenal offers, and they are deserving students that we know will be successful at the University of Maryland, and it's an accept. The last option, of course, unfortunate, but we do send out denial letters. If you get a denial letter, that does not mean you're denied from the University of Maryland forever. That just means that you are denied for the fall 21 and spring 22 academic year. Go to a four-year college, go to a community college, get some grades in, and then reapply if you truly believe University of Maryland is going to be that fit institution for you. We're happy to re-review your application at a later date. Also, with our timeline, make note that May 1st is the national confirmation deadline. So again, November 1st is your deadline to submit the application. Our deadline to get back to you is February 1st for one of your admissions decisions. Then on February 1st, if you know you want to go to University of Maryland, you can submit the enrollment deposit, enrollment confirmation deposit, but you have up until May 1st to submit this. It is $400 and it is non-refundable. So once you submit it, that means you're attending the university, and you have that whole period of February 1 to May 1 to submit that. You will receive financial information from us in the month of March. So by April 1, you'll know where you sit financially at the University of Maryland, giving you a full month before the May 1 national deadline to confirm. You can see here, there's two routes of aid. Need-based aid is via the FAFSA, and that will open next week here on October 1st. And our priority deadline, along with most schools, is January 1. So you'll make sure that you submit that before January 1 so we can get you your full financial aid package in the month of March prior to April 1st. Merit-based scholarships are going to work in that same timeline. In the month of March, prior to April 1, you will receive your merit-based scholarships via our office, and that will be automatically included in your admissions application before November 1st. There's no separate application necessary. That concludes my formal piece of this presentation. That again is my name and contact information. I do want to open it up for Q&A. I see there is a few questions already, but feel free to add those questions in as I'm talking with you, and I'm happy to do those live. So one of the questions is, as a junior right now, would tours be available to me, or should I wait for senior year? So right now we have a phenomenal page which includes our calendar of all the events, including tonight's event, that will be live, and it includes all of our events done by our office, and they all are virtual. So if you're asking about an in-person, unfortunately at this point in time, we can't. You might want to wait until spring or fall next year to see if you can get an on-campus tour in person, but we do have multiple different virtual options, and we also have a virtual tour that's 24/7. So feel free to, go on there and check that out at any point in time to see our virtual tour and kind of walk through campus virtually. Good question. Do you have any information on financials? So as far as financial cost, our tuition for an out-of-state student is $36,000 and $12,000 for room and board in state or out of state. So about $48,000 per year is what you would get billed from the University of Maryland. You should plan to pay in full, and if you get a scholarship merit-based, it's about 15% of our students, so it's a pleasant surprise if you do, but I would say planning on that $48,000 for at least the first year, and then as you go on into your programs, there's a lot more financial aid given out sophomore, junior, and senior year. So there's definitely opportunities to be able to lower the cost as you're at the university a little longer. But again, $36 for out-of-state tuition, $12 for room and board. Is there a specific marine biology program? Unfortunately, we do not have a specific marine biology program. We do have life sciences, biology, and atmospheric and oceanic sciences, but they're not truly marine biology because we're not close enough to water to really give you that full effect. I do know that our Eastern Shores campus does have that program, though. We're not too closely related because we're separate campuses, but you could look that up to see if that is a good opportunity or a good fit for you. Do you take scholarships from different places? Yes. So you'll know when you receive a scholarship, some of them like state, national, or maybe high school or local are all offering you money, and then you either send it to our school and we take it off your bill, or they might send the money directly to you, and we're happy to take any of those. We do also offer departmental scholarships, and you can see that on our website. With the departmental scholarships, typically it does not go out, or the most amount of money does not go out freshman year, but that's definitely a good starting point even to look at. I was sitting on a visit with agriculture today, and they do have a lot of scholarships even for freshmen. So it really just kind of depends on the school and the program, what they can offer you, but it's definitely important to kind of look at that. We obviously our mayor based through our office, I kind of laid out, but yeah, we do take departmental from our university as well as external scholarships that work for all universities. So great question. I'll give it another moment or two here to see if any other questions pop up. Feel free to throw those in there. I do have two here that were already answered, but I'll just go back in since we do have a few moments here and kind of reiterate the answer. Does the same application process occur when a student has already gotten their associate's degree? Great question. So for transfer information, after a certain amount of credits, which associate's degree would apply, we are no longer looking at your high school information. So we're just looking at your community college or any college credits you've taken and received. So yeah, that's a great question there. And do you have aerospace, biomedical, and chemical engineering? The answer is yes, we have all of those. You can go onto our Clark School of Engineering and see all the different programs listed out that we offer, and we offer all the main ones you would think of and some really unique ones. We have a material science engineering, which we're super excited for Amazon 2 headquarters to come in and work even closer on that. We have a fire protection engineering. So there's some really cool programs. And a lot of our programs also have what's called corporate partners, companies that are directly recruiting our students, and they actually pay money to be a part of our recruitment process and to be on our website and have our students be a part of that. So I always say, just like Google search Maryland or UMD corporate partners, and you can see with a lot of our programs, and then the program you're interested in. So whether it's computer science or engineering or business or whatever program, and see all of those related. Also, our websites are just phenomenal as far as listing out internship opportunities, research opportunities that are happening at the university. So definitely do your research about University of Maryland. We're really excited to list those out there and have those be for you. So I'm going to give it one final moment here for any questions. Of course, you can reach out to me directly, or you can see on the screen here our admissions information, our email, and our phone number. So feel free to reach out to us if you have any more questions that maybe pop up after this presentation is over. We're here for you and to guide you through these next steps in your career.
Thank you for joining us this evening. After this window closes, there's going to be a four-question survey for you guys to fill out. www.iacac.org, and this recording will be available along with many others at iacac.org. Everyone have a great night. Thank you.